Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron. It is the player ratings. Bournemouth 3, Everton 0. Everton's final game before the World Cup break ends in a defeat. Shock. Our second defeat of the week. Our second defeat to Bournemouth of the week. 7 goals conceded and just the one scored against a team that hadn't picked up a Premier League point since mid-October. Yeah, I don't really know what to say, to be honest with you. I've just had a massive rant on the instant match reaction. We spoke about the players, we spoke about the manager, we spoke about the board. The reality of the situation is I'm at a loss for words with Everton, to be honest with you. I've just put it on Twitter then, I'll repeat it again here. This is the first time in a long time I've genuinely felt sick after watching an Everton game, and that isn't an exaggeration. That isn't me trying to say something for effect or say something to be dramatic. This is the first time in a long time I've genuinely felt sick after watching Everton, because I just don't know what the future holds, if I'm being honest with you. And for me, the way in which things are looking at the moment, this Everton team will go down without serious investment in the January transfer window. This Everton team will go down because it's very simple. Football is a very simple concept. If you do not score goals, you will not win games, and we don't score goals, and we don't have players that score goals, and we don't have players that create chances. So as much as we can sit here and say our defence is much better than it was last season, as much as we can sit here and say our midfield is much more athletic than it was last season, we haven't got Richarlison. It's as simple as that. We haven't got Richarlison. Which means we're not scoring goals, which means we're not winning games. We haven't got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, which means we're not scoring goals, which means we're not winning games. Yeah, £100 million in January needed. 2, 3 forward players, an out-and-out striker and 2 wingers for me. Otherwise, yeah, we're in for another end to this season as to the same one as last season, and I honestly don't think I can put up with that. I really, really don't. I mean, Wormy says is McNeil shite. Yeah, he's fucking woeful, mate. He's absolutely woeful. Just a complete waste of money, if I'm being honest with you. I still don't mind Dwight McNeil, and I still think with other players around him, he wouldn't be too bad of a player. But for him to be the direct replacement to Richarlison, which, to be fair, when we signed him, I didn't think he would be. For him to be Richarlison's replacement is baffling, to be honest with you. Anyway, let's get straight into it, because we've done the instant match reaction. I've spoke about everything I need to speak about. I just want to fly through these, to be honest with you, because I feel like shite. I don't really want to talk about Everton, and I just want to be done now for 6 weeks. I say that. We'll be back with the review on Monday, but you know what I mean. Pickford's getting he's getting a 1, and a lot of that isn't necessarily his performance, to be honest with you. He's massively at fault for the first goal, which is shocking, absolutely shocking goalkeeping. The second goal, he ran out and was in absolutely no man's land. And the third goal is it headed straight at him and it just bounces off him. But it wasn't even all of that. That has wound me up the most today about Jordan Pickford's performance. It's the fact that he had the bollocks to go over to the away end at the end and say, calm down. Now, whatever you feel about the way the fans reacted and the way the fans expressed their emotion towards the end of the game, everyone will have a different opinion. I'm not going to sit there as a fan who goes to away games and has been to every away game this season, barring the 2 against Bournemouth. I'm not going to sit there and tell fans who have just travelled 8 hours down the country twice within a week to watch Everton concede 7 goals against a team that aren't very good at football, let's be honest. I'm not going to sit here and tell them how to feel after that game of football. And Jordan Pickford going over and saying, calm down, calm down, calm down, we tried our best, is a load of nonsense, because you didn't try your best. In fact, you didn't try your best whatsoever. It's absolute bollocks. So Jordan not only was dreadful in his performance, but that at the end has really pissed me off. So Jordan's getting a 1. Mikalenko obviously come off early on with an injury. I'll give him a 5, because again, I don't think he done much wrong when he was on the pitch. Obviously, he come off with an injury just before the second goal, which was disappointing. But yeah, he was all right. He was all right. 2 defenders. Tarkowski, I'm actually going to give him a 6.5 as well. I thought he was Everton's best player today. again, was down with an head injury for their second goal, which should have never have stood because of that fact. But of course, it did stand because it's Everton, so why would it have not stood? But other than that, I thought he was okay. Tarky today put himself about, defended well, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Without James Tarkowski and Conor Cody, Everton would be rock bottom in the Premier League, and Frank Lampard wouldn't be in a job, and we'd all be staring down the battle of relegation again. But this time it would be serious because we would be the same defence as last season, only we'd have lost Richarlison up front. The pair of them have made things slightly better than what they are and what they would have been without them. Again, Tarky I thought was okay. He's getting a 6.5. Cody can have a 6 as well. I don't think he was as good as Tarkowski. I don't think he's as impactful, but I equally don't think he done much wrong, to be fair, in the 90 minutes. Patterson at right back. I'm going to give Pats a 6 as well. I think there were a couple of defensive errors that he made, a couple of defensive mistakes, a couple of moments where he should have been. His positioning was maybe a little bit off, or his defending was a little bit off. He would look like the only Everton player that was ever going to create a chance or score a goal. I think he had 4 shots or something in the game, or 3 chances created in the game, or whatever it is. And going forward, he looked like, including the forward line, by the way, he looked like the only one that was ever interested in doing anything. Defensively, as I said, a couple of mistakes, but again, I don't particularly put a lot of blame on him. Midfield, Onana 5. No, Onana 4. No, Onana 3. Don't really know what he was doing. Don't really know what his role was. Don't really know the reason for him being there. Had a couple of headers in the opposition box that nothing come of. Threw a couple of tackles in the midfield, but again, may as well have been sat next to me on the couch watching the game. He had no impact on the game whatsoever. And I just don't really know what the purpose was of his what his role was, what the purpose was of his role today. Garner's getting a 3 as well, very similarly. Don't really see what the purpose was of him being in there. Had no effect on the game. And yeah, as I said, may as well have been sat next to me. Iwobi can get a 4. No, Iwobi can get a 5. I thought he was okay. Thought he ran round, worked hard, put himself about a little bit. Still didn't have anywhere near as much impact on the game as he should have had, but at least he put himself about a bit and worked hard and ran around and had a go. We're at this point now, aren't we, where we're losing games of football and we're literally we're praising players on having a go, but he did. Forward line, McNeil 1, had 1 shot on goal and managed the same amount of chances in 70 minutes as Tom Cannon did in 30 seconds. Damari Gray, a 1, just woeful, just absolutely offers nothing, nowhere near good enough to play for Everton. Just a complete one sick pony, and that sick is I'm going to try 150 step overs and then lose the ball. And Dwight McNeil, a 1, absolutely embarrassing. The front 3 would struggle to stay up in the Championship, never mind stay up in the Premier League. They offer no creativeness, they offer no quality, there's no ability in front of goal. They don't even look like scoring a goal, never mind getting creating chances or scoring. They don't even look like creating chances. So yeah, every one of them are getting a 1. They're a disgrace. They're an absolute disgrace, and I don't want to think about them for the next 6 weeks. Substitutes then, Anthony Gordon, who we've just found out was nursing a broken hand. He can get a 3. I don't think he done anything when he come on, but again, a little bit harsh to sit here and rip into a lad who's come on as a sub. Decore's getting a 3 as well. Didn't do anything when he come on and had no impact on the game. Seamus Coleman can get a 5. No, Seamus Coleman can get a 6. I thought he'd come on. And for a 34-year-old playing left back, I don't think he'd done anything particularly wrong. Thought he was, fighting. I thought him, Tarkowski and Cody were the only 3 that really looked like they give a fuck today. And they deserve credit for that. And then Tom Cannon's getting a 7 because, again, he come on and looked more impressive and more dangerous in 2 minutes than what Neil Maupay did in 70 minutes of football. And that in itself is incredibly, incredibly worrying. And there you go. Look, sorry, I've absolutely ran through them, but I'm sick of Everton. If I'm being honest with you, I'm absolutely sick of Everton, and I don't think I can sit here and talk about them for another 15, 20 minutes because I'm just so void of any any real energy of whatsoever to have conversation about this Everton team. I just cannot wait for this next 6 weeks or 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever it is, without this football club. I agree, by the way. I agree where me Seamus at left back is something that we should never be seeing. We should never have seen it, but it happened, and I thought he was okay. The manager, sack him, sound, nothing changes. Keep him, sound, nothing changes. Reality is, whether it's Lampard, whether it's Roberto Martinez, whether it's Sean Dyche, whether it's David Moyes, or whether it's fucking Harry Potter, or whether it's fucking John Travolta, or whether it's fucking, I don't know, Keira Knightley. Doesn't matter who it is, this same team will perform the same way. The only way this changes is in January if we spend a serious amount of money on our forward line, and if we don't, then we will be playing Championship football next season. Anyway, we are going to leave it there. If you have enjoyed this one, please leave a like. It only takes a second if you're new to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Big thanks for watching. Check out the Instant Match Reaction if you haven't already. Yeah, we'll see you soon.